Oh, by the way, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Prime Video is planning another big splash for its hit series, The Rings of Power, at San Diego Comic-Con this year at SDCC. Head of the series season 2 premiere on August 29th, the streamer will host an exclusive press and influencer reception by invitation only. Oh, I know mine's coming. In San Diego on Thursday, July 25th. It will be followed by a Rings of Power panel in Hall H on Friday from 11:05 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. featuring the series showrunner J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, as well as giving fans an inside look at season 2 in Middle-earth. Afterwards, at 1:45 p.m. at a venue 808, a fan meetup and greet with the cast held in conjunction with Rings of Power. Venue 808. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's where I went to the thing for the Orville. It's right down the street. Yeah, so they're going to do a meetup. They're going to do a fan meetup. Wow. Oh, you're going to be with the OneRing.net guys. Hey, one of the guys, one of the guys there, you want to hear a story of the OneRing.net? I can't remember. It's the taller, the gay guy. You know that Star Wars bar that Kevin Smith either still does or used to do his podcast from, that Cantina bar? So Chris Gore took us there. This was at LA Comic-Con 2 years ago. Not this last year, but the year before. And working the door is that guy from the OneRing.net. So to let you know, I used to be a member in the forums of the OneRing.net over 20 years ago. An active member in the forum, like big time. He's a bouncer. He's like not a bouncer, but he's like checking IDs. I wouldn't call him a bouncer. He ain't gonna be kicking anybody out. But so he makes me pull out my ID and he cards me, right? Now, I guess you got to card anybody, but come the fuck on, dude. And I don't mean like he knows who I am, which I doubt. But dude, you fucking carded me. Fuck off. Good times. Good times. The Cantina bar was pretty cool though. Actually, I kind of liked it. All right, back to this article. Where was I? Hey guys, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power blew the roof off of San Diego 2 years ago. I was there. I'm gonna say that did not happen. Since the series has come out, I have not seen a single cosplay at a convention from that show. I've been to a few conventions. I've seen some Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings, but I haven't seen any Rings of Power. I didn't see anything that would tell you what's in the cultural zeitgeist other than being completely fucking roasted. But here we're going to have the Access Media reprint a press release from Amazon and tell you that this thing is a big hit and it's really successful and super popular when it lost 63% of its audience here in the States through its run. It only retained 37%. And of that 37%, it's only going to retain a smaller percentage of that. As well as showcasing a full blast of a musical score to fans at the session with composer Bear McCreary, who I liked. I thought his music was really bland and terrible, but he's been good on other things. Conducting a full blazing choir and orchestra. It was the first time fans were introduced to season 1 characters and the actors who played them. Well, we heard a lot about the first black female dwarf and dwarves of color, elves of color, Harfoots of color. Didn't hear about the story. You want to know why? Because there was none. Prime Video also opened up a wraparound screens in Hall H, originally installed by Warner Brothers a year prior. In season 2, The Rings of Power, Sauron has returned, cast out by Galadriel. He wasn't cast out by Galadriel. Did you watch the fucking show? He left. And you know what she did afterwards? Didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell anybody that Halbrand was Sauron. Didn't fucking tell anybody and went ahead with his plan. When in the original story, she never trusted Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, not for one fucking second. Tried to get Celebrimbor, is like, dude, don't trust this guy. Don't trust this guy. Don't trust this guy. The rising Dark Lord must now rely on his own cunning to rebuild his strength and oversee the creation of the Rings of Power, which will allow him to bind all peoples of Middle-earth to his sinister will. So they're backdooring the original lore after their made-up lore completely fucked up. Elves and dwarves, orcs and men, wizards and harfoots. Do you know why they can't say hobbits? They don't have the rights. Harfoots are hobbits. They're kind of being racist. As friendships are strained and kingdoms begin to fracture, the forces of good will struggle ever more valiantly to hold on to what matters to most of them all, each other, togetherness. Remember, okay, Star Trek fans, all three of you out there, remember when for the last 3 years, Star Trek Discovery would do trailers, and in the trailers, they would have to say, we're going to do this together, like twice per trailer. Yeah, go back and look. They do it in Picard too. Empty platitudes and bullshit like that. Okay, so as previously announced, season 2 will introduce a beloved character from J.R.R. Tolkien's novel, Tom Bombadil. In the novel, Bombadil saves Frodo, yes, from a myriad of perils. Well, after the Barrow-wights, the incident with the Barrow-wights, friends Nuri and Poppy are on their journey to Eastern Middle-earth. Hey, Lady Greymaster, what do you want to bet that Tom Bombadil helps female Frodo and female Sam from the Barrow-wights that they have that look like they're Middle Eastern? Fuck, they have fucking no creativity. These fuckers have gone out there saying, you know what, this year, things are going to happen. We're going to have 2 episodes of battle. And we brought this up last night on House of the Dragon. Did you hear Ryan Condell selling all year that, you know, I know we have a lot of political intrigue, but we have this amazing battle at the end of episode 4? No, he didn't fucking say a word. He let his work do the talking. And it was a fucking banger. These fucking idiots think it's just the battle. No, battles are meaningless if we don't give a fuck about the characters and what they're fighting for. And what these lazy fucks are relying on is us in our headcanon using Tolkien's lore to imprint on their shit. And that's what Star Wars do. It relies a lot on previous lore, hardcore fans imprinting that lore on their new shit. It's separate. It doesn't exist. They're completely separate things. Oh, they are joined by executive producer Lindsay Weber. Lindsay Weber, who was so great to work with. Jar Jar Abrams couldn't wait to get rid of her. When Amazon was like, hey, we want to, or she's like, I have this opportunity at Amazon's, like Jar Jar's like, oh, you go, girl, you go. But she was trained and reared and brought up through the creative bankrupt system of bad reboots. Same with JD Payne and Patrick McKay. So they're very good at bullshit, but not very good at their jobs. By the way, Lindsay Weber, married to one of the producers of The Wheel of Time. No nepotism there. I'm glad there's a common connection with Wheel of Time and Rings of Power besides being absolute dog shit. Caleb Green, Justin Doble, Jason Cahill, and Jennifer Hutchinson, along with co-executive producer and director Charlotte Brandstrom, who did one of the not-so-good episodes. It wasn't terrible of Shogun. Rings of Power. You know what? I sit corrected, guys. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm wrong about everything. You want to know why? You want to know why? Every episode is directed by a woman this year. Thank God. I'm wrong. Every episode directed by a woman. Did they earn that spot? No. They broke laws by discriminating against men by not hiring any men to hire women. This is going to be so much better because, you know, everything is told through like Tolkien's lens and stuff. I mean, sure, he's the only guy who made up the story and came from his imagination, and it's one man's singular work that he's worked on for his entire life, but it's still the male gaze patriarchal lens and stuff. So we need some women. We need a female lens for Tolkien's singular work that he worked on all his life, that his son protected, and then his heirs completely fucked him over on. Yeah, this is a press release, by the way, folks. So like Deadline, you guys know this, but the Access Media is so corrupted and so full of fucking shit. Only a press release would put everybody and their mother as a producer to get credit for this. And you know what? I'm glad. I want you to know the name Lindsay Weber, one of the worst producers in Hollywood. And by the way, the showrunner this season, because JD Payne and Patrick McKay didn't work on their own show for most of the strike. But I want you to know these names. Remember these names, because if you see something, if you see their names on anything, don't fucking watch it. Don't waste your time. Go out, pay your taxes, visit your mother-in-law that you can't stand, go to the fucking dentist, do something else. JD Payne, Patrick McKay, Jennifer Salk, Lindsay Weber, creators of some of the worst fucking dog shit ever made and the most disrespectful, subversive, and some of the worst vandalization of beloved text, Western civilization, the mythology of Western civilization. Remember those names.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.